Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where we're going to try to fix this butchered up, lowered pile of shit. Somebody lowered it, put in lowering springs at least, and she just rides stiff as a board like a wheelbarrow. Somebody mentioned, oh, the guy was going to make a race car. He probably did it. Well, the guy I bought it from bought it like this, and he's the one that stripped it all to make a race, quote, race car. So somebody before him must have lowered it all. Anyway, last video I took the rear springs off of the 91 parts car, put them on here. It raised it up about 1 1/8 inches. So I think that's factory height there. We need to get the front end up. So I bought new springs here. They look really, really tall. I don't know if they're right or not. They fit 1,000 different cars, but it said 85 Camaro, but you never know. They could have the wrong interchange thing on there. If they're wrong, I'm sending them back, and we're taking the front springs off of the 91 parts car because it is a V8. V8 and V6s are different coil springs. I got new back shocks and front struts right here, and we're going to put them on too. So we got them and them. I think this coil spring is going to be a royal pain in the ass to get out, or to get in, because you can't get at the front deal where you put a deal through there and suck it up, a spring compressor. So I'm not sure how to get them in there. We're going to take this apart first, one side, and see. I may have to run up to AutoZone and get a spring compressor or something. I don't know. Okay, then I got the two new brake hoses for the front. We're gonna do the passenger side first. Jack it up, take the wheel off, and take the coil spring off, do the brake line, see if it bleeds. Most likely it's because it's collapsed. Same one on the parts car. I cut the hose, and sure enough, fluid came out. Wouldn't come out the caliper, but you snip the hose and it came out. So anyway, let me get this jacked up and I'll show you what's going on with it. Okay guys, got the wheel off. So tell the struts are old. They're all crumbling. Okay, then the inner wheel well on both sides are worn right through where it's just been slammed. I think these are good on the parts car. We'll take them off and replace them, but okay, we're going to put a jack underneath here, take out the sway bar, take out the tie rod end, undo the two bolts for the struts. For now, I think we'll just snip this hose, and then this whole thing should drop down, and then we'll let the jack down, and we'll see. You can see the red springs, lowering springs. Those were the rear, so they bought the whole set of lowering springs. Only 1 inch lower on the back, but I'm thinking this is 2 or 3 inches lower on the front. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. But anyway, we need to get that out of there. See, it only goes from here up to here. And those springs are twice as big, but they got to compress. We may have to take the one off of here just to match it up. One off of that one to match it up with the new one. Make sure they're the same height. So anyway, let me get rolling on that, and I'll be back. Okay, let's take the tie rod bolt there out, pop that down, sway bar deal out, slid that out. I've done the one brake bracket here. So this is strut, goes to here. Once you take them out, then this all falls down. And what we'll do is we'll leave all this on here. Hopefully, well, the alignment's probably going to be screwed up because it's going to be up taller now. But anyway, we'll take that off and pull the whole strut out of there. We should be able to see the coil springs just barely on there. I think if we jack this up, see, I got my jacks off. Jack's messed up. Is that as far? Okay. Usually I just stand back, get a crowbar, and that should just pop out. It's not going to fly across the problem is I lost my big jack, or my big crowbar. I put it somewhere and I can't find it, unless it's somebody borrowed it and left it out in the yard somewhere. But anyway, just give that a little tension. I've been using this thing, but I think there it goes. See, it don't take much, guys. So there it is. Let's take a look between that and the new ones. Yeah, she don't even look the same, does it? It don't even look the same. Okay, well, what we're gonna have to do is take the one off the parts car. It should match up to this one. If it don't, I can't, well, you know, unless it's lowered that much, but that's a lot to be lowered. What's that, 5-6 inches? I don't know. Yeah, let me take it off that one. We'll check it. I'll be back. Okay, guys, got this coil spring out. So this is the one that was in the 85 here. That's the new one. And that's the one I just took out of the 91 RS. So is that the same and this is just shrunk over 35 years? Or is this one just wrong? I don't know. But I know one thing, it's going to be hard getting either one of them in there. This one came out of the top of that. Nothing in the bottom. I don't know if this one had an isolator in there. No, it didn't. Okay, well, I figure out what I'm going to do trying to get them in there, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I took the short red one and stuck it back on this one just so I could roll it. I may have to put the coil springs on the back too, because it's rubbing that tire but not the other. Anyway, since that was so short, I just pushed it in there and then jacked up the bottom A-frame, right? So you got a jack underneath this, shoved it up in there under the little perch, and then it went on the edge here, and then just jacked it up, and then just jacked it up till the these lined up with the strut, and that was it. Now the problem is those are quite a bit taller, so that's not going to work. Going to have to compress them, and there's no hole in the top of this, See, on the old Chevelles and Novas, El Caminos and stuff that I done, there'd be a hole on top. Then you could put the deal from the compressor down there and pull the spring up, and then jack this up underneath of it. So this way, I'm gonna have to go through the bottom. Problem is, when I go through the bottom, the spring's gonna be out this way. There's gonna be no way of getting that spring up here. It has to be like a little fucking slinky or something. And I know some people would take these two bolts off here and have it so it's flat, then get the spring and then jack it up. But I don't know if that's even gonna work. I think there's gonna be too much tension before that thing gets up, so I could put these bolts back in. Well, you'd have to compress it first. Compress it with a spring tool in here and have it flat. Then get it up in there. I don't know if it's gonna work, guys. I don't know. May have to watch a video on it, because some of them spring deals, yeah, you can do that, but once it's in there, you can't get that damn thing out of there. I seen one guy in a video, he just cut it, got something in there, Sawzall or something in between the springs, and cut the little latches that hold the spring. So yeah, he ruined the tool. He had to buy it. I think he rented it, and then he had to buy it because he cut it all up. So I don't want to get into that. We'll have to figure it out, guys, but it's not going to be easy, that's for sure. What else do I say? Oh, the strut was shot. It was out, and it just went, just pushed down like that. There's no. And this been replaced before, called the Sensa Track. So anyway, guys, let me figure it out, and then once I do get that spring, then we'll do the brake line. You see the brake line, you should probably take that off if you got a good one. And should I try the new one or the old one? I don't know. It's gonna be tough. Okay, I'll let you know what I figure out later. Okay, guys, according to this seller's website, these springs that I bought for 84 to 85 V8 Camaro, they're supposed to be 17.05 inches relaxed length. But this one's close to, it's about 17 3/4, but I don't know what they go by. Okay, so they have, well, I didn't look up, like 86, 7, 8, 9. Well, I think it was 88, 89, 90, 91 V8, which is this one here. It's supposed to be 15.88, almost 16. But according to this, it's about 15 1/4. Unless they meant this way. It would be 15 1/2. So I don't know why they would make different ones for like an 85, 91. Surely all the A-frames and everything, that's probably what I should have looked up. See, the bottom A-frames would be the same. Surely they wouldn't be deeper, or I don't know. But anyway, a 91 V6 is supposed to be 15.63, and a V8 15.88, so really not much taller. But yeah, this 84, 85 is the biggest one. 17, supposed to be 17 inches. That's gonna be a bitch getting that in there. Especially this one, which is 17 3/4. So I don't know, guys. I'll probably wait till tomorrow to get a spring compressor if I need it. I'm going to try to get this one in. This one came out as easy as the red one came out of this one. So I don't know, maybe I can force it in there. If I can find my pry bar, crowbar, need a little something to wedge that in there. But, and then see if I can jack it up. But either way, we're gonna get one of these sets in there. Okay, I'll be back. Nikki, what you doing, Nikki? We're going for a walk. Well, just showing Nikki fans that she's doing good. Uh-oh, she thinks we're going for a ride in the car, but guy came by yesterday, bought the taillights and took that rear window out. Can't believe that car. Okay, Nikki. No, Nikki, come on, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. Come on. She just loves going for a ride in the car. I don't know why. She just sits in that back seat all proud and... Nikki's such a good girl. Nikki's such a good girl. Okay, come on, let's go. Well, anyway, I do got to go for a ride to pick up that windshield. It's Monday and it's here, but I can't take Nikki with me. I need the back seat of the, I got to measure it, probably take the Avalanche. Hang on. Okay, so this is what I got so far. Now, it's impossible to get it, so I got to get it in that lip right there. So I tried to strap. Here's a piece of it here. That broke. A lot of tension on there, so I got to come along. And I got to pull it that way. See the come along across there, holding it in place. So then I jack it up a little bit, but this time I got it caught. It's caught in that hole there. But I think I can, that's why I got that one jack there trying to push it. So if I can get this spring knocked over into this groove, then it'll stay there. I can jack the rest up and put on the new strut and all that. But I've been beating on that and I just can't, it just won't move. I think because I got that come along in that position that's got so much tension that it's pushing it this way. But I'm gonna try. I found my big pry bar there. It was underneath that box that the door panels were resting on. So I'm going to try here for a little bit. If I can't get it in, I'm going to go get a coil spring compressor, but like I said, I don't think it's going to work. It may, but I don't think it will. I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to compress it all the way down and then get it and make it line up to that top in there. But anyway, this isn't the new coil spring. It's the spring off the 91 RS. There's a new one there, which was whatever it was, a couple inches longer. There's no way I could do this to that one. But anyway, I'm gonna mess with it a little bit more. If not, I'll run down and get a coil spring compressor and pick up that new windshield, and we'll go from there. So I'll be back. Just figure I'd show you what I got going on there. 3 jacks in there and to come along and okay. Okay guys, I got it in there. So it's in. Just got to put that sway bar end in. I put on the new strut. They don't have them covers on it. Unless you're supposed to reuse the old ones, I don't know. Anyway, just got to put the sway bar end in on it and the brake line here. But I wanted to put the wheel on it, drop it down, and see how much. I forgot to measure the height, but we got the other side. We can tell. Just got back, got the new windshield. We'll do that later because it'll take me a couple hours to take this windshield out. Want to finish up the other side, brakes, and put on the rear shocks. Then we'll do the windshield. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, that's down on the ground. This measures 27 1/4. And this is 26. So it appears it only raised it up 1 1/4, same as the rear. But I didn't put that in, and I didn't put in the new ones that were probably another 1 or 2 higher. I don't think I'm going to get them big ones in there, and I didn't go by AutoZone to get a spring compressor. Maybe I should have, to try to get that big one in, tall one in on the driver's side and see what the difference is. But anyway, it's up higher than it was, and that one side might have raised this up just a little bit, just from being, and of course that rear one is up 1 1/4. So 3 of them have been raised. It probably raised this one up a little bit. It was probably lower than that. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get that tall one on doing it the way I did. So anyway, let me figure it out. I'll have to take the one off of this. Take the short one out of this one, put it in that one, and put it on there. So let me do that and I'll be back. Guys, I'm going to do these rear shocks. So here's the new ones here. They come with new bushings. Now this is on the bottom at the rear end. This is at the top. It's right here, right there. Already took off the top. Going to just take off this bottom bolt on the shock right there. Should be pretty easy. And just took up my air. Okay. Take that bolt off, slide it, there it is. You just had to jack up this just a little bit, get a little bit of tension off of it. Okay, so put this stuff, or at least this, it come with the new deal there. Might have to put that on there, I'm not sure. Anyway, pretty simple. Let me do the 2 rear shocks. I know it ain't gonna add to the height, but it looks like I should get new bushing at least in that. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got the new shocks on the back. It actually raised this side up another 1/2 inch. Unless unless the front did it, because this side didn't raise up another 1/2 inch because of the shocks. So yeah, that's probably because I haven't changed that spring over there. So anyway, let me do that left front and I'll be back. Okay guys, getting her ready to take out the coil spring, but show you the wiper motor just came in. That's what I was needing, 84 to 87. This one's apparently off of 87 Trans Am with 47,000 miles on it. Has a delay. So if you're wanting to know the plugs, that's the plug I needed right there. Right there. A 2 and a 4, I guess. Now, this is what I was talking about. You can get a new motor, but it doesn't come with this top piece. This is the wiper washer fluid motor. And it comes off of these screws here. Nobody makes this. At least I couldn't find it. That's why I had to buy used whole assembly. But yeah, you could buy this for 89 bucks, just a motor. But what good is that without this? So anyway, I used the, got it from Hawks Motorsports, and they really give it to me. No Vaseline, no nothing. 150 bucks. Yeah, but what are you gonna do? So anyway, I'm gonna put it on here. This one that's on there, and you know, if you're new, everything was gutted from this car, so all the wiring harness and stuff is all from '89. So this is off of '89 parts car. I had my helper put it on years ago, but so the harness I got for the '86, see, there's that 4 deal there and the 2 deal there from the harness right here. So that's what I needed. And then this stuff here is from the '89 harness I just cut off because I thought maybe I could splice in, but there's too many wires. I don't know where they all go, where they would all go to these. So anyway, there's 3 screws here. I think they're 8mm, 5/16. And then just this back bolt here, I think it's 13.5 inch. So I'm going to take that off, put this on there, and I do believe this is getting power. I think I did check it all before, but anyway, we'll plug it in, see what happens. It better work for 150 bucks. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, there it is. Got the plug down here, plug there. I don't have the washer hooked up because, you know, I bought these 2 new jugs, reservoirs. They don't come with caps. You got to reuse your old one. Well, I didn't have the original one. 89 looks like this because it's got the pump on the side. So this one has the pump here, and it has a cap. It's supposed to have a cap with a tube in it that goes right in the middle of this cap. So I just ordered one of them. It's like another 12 bucks. And somebody said, why don't you just fiberglass these up, the old busted ones? Well, they're so brittle that even when I went to take this cap off, like this, off the old one, the whole thing here just broke apart, crumbled. So that's why I had to get new ones. Okay, so I gotta wait on that and then run a hose from there to here, and then from there to the wipers. Okay, so it's on there. That's low. That's high. Low. And then delay. Put it. Yeah, it's a delay there. Okay. That's the button there. Wiper. So low, high. And it'll have a mist. Oh, I could hear it. That's the okay. That's when you hit the washer. It'll squirt out and go around a couple times. Okay, so it all works. We can test it without the. Well, we want to make sure it still sucks. The motor part works, but we need to make sure it sucks it out of there. A little vacuum thing in there works. Okay, so that's one little job done. I'll get back on this. So probably be tomorrow before I finish it. But I'll be back. Okay, guys, there's the lowered short stubby spring that came out of it. And here's this one about that's touching the top perch in there. So it's got to go from here up to here. Pretty much got to be really compressed to snag that lip so I can jack it up. Okay, so I went to AutoZone. Yeah, we're going to attempt to put in the longer new one in this side because I got the coil spring compressors. Now this is the regular one. These are the free rentals from AutoZone. This is what I usually use, but see, most cars like a Chevelle, Nova, at the very top A-frame, you can get this through there. The hole as big as for the top of the shock, right? So you put this down, then you snag on the bottom, or not really the bottom, second, third bottom, and then spring it up like that. Then you can jack that A-frame up and then pull this out. Well, the problem with this one is it doesn't have a hole on the top to do that. So the only way to do it would be through the bottom, through this hole. Now, the problem with that is you're going to have the spring coming straight out towards you like this, right? It needs to go up here. It needs to go, it'll have to go in an L shape. Unless you can get it sprung down to about here, from here to there, we might try it and then pull it up and you might be able to get it in there, but it's going to be very doubtful because see how I got the other side in. How you get them in is all you got to do is get this edge onto that lip. See, there's a lip in there. Then you can you pry the or jack the bottom up to completely, and then it'll completely surround it. With doing it the way I just said, it's going to be completely flat against there and coming straight out like this. So you can't have it. You need it on more of an angle. So that's why I don't think that's going to work. Okay, so I got this. This is a McPherson strut compressor. So I'm thinking I'll try this. This is a little bit more dangerous because I believe they can slip off. But I think this might work. Get it on the side, like from here to here, and compress the middles down. Because you got to get this out. You can't have this edge stuck up in here. You won't get it out, or you can't have it down at the bottom. You won't get it out. So I'm thinking like the middle here. If we can get these two middle from here and here and get them the middle in, I think we'll have a fighting chance of getting it in. That's why I don't think this is gonna work. So we'll try this. See, we'll get it on. Okay. Get it on like, yeah, let's just pull it out. So we'll get her on. I'll have to measure it again. Let's make sure we got enough room. Something like that. But see, even that might be too far. Well, maybe not. I believe something like that on both sides, and we can, if we can get it about half the length, I think I'll have a fighting chance of getting it in there. And then once it's on that lip and I can get it jacked up a little bit, then we can loosen this and take this back off. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay guys, I tried these McPherson strut ones, which you go on the outside. The problem is the bar sticks out too far that it wouldn't fit in this hole. One of them would, but two of them it won't. And then it'd be way down there and trying to get this loose after it's in there. I don't think it's gonna work. So anyway, I use a regular coil compressor, and this is as far as I could get with the extension of that. So I started tightening it up. You can see there. So I've been tightening that bolt up, but it's pretty damn tight. But I don't even know it's gonna work. See, we're gonna have to lift this up and get it up in that perch. I don't think there's any way. Even if I got it as best I could and then hook a come along here to try to straighten it out, it's not gonna work. So I don't know. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna undo this A-frame and try to jack the whole thing up into it. I'll never get these bolt holes lined up. There's no way to get them lined up. Very, very difficult. I'd be struggling out here for days trying to get that on there. So I don't think I'm gonna do it that way. Well, let me figure something out and I'll be back. Okay guys, I watched a couple of videos and they did it like this, which is the more dangerous way to me anyway. So you got to get it in the middle. You got to leave enough room, so you're going to get it in there and then pull this out, undo this. There's enough room here, get a socket in and undo this bolt. Then you got to slide this out. If you're too far down there, it's going to get jammed up against here. So you got to get that at the right spot. One guy said he had to do it 3 or 4 times. And then same with this. This has got a beveled about that far. So you don't want to jam this up in there against it, because then you'll never get that out. So you gotta have the perfect spot there and there. Now, this thing don't line up very good. I've tried it 3 or 4 times. You can see how this bolt here is not centered. You can't center it. If I move it over to this lip here, then it's too far this way. But either way, it doesn't line up on the other side. See, it's supposed to be in that groove there. So that's what's dangerous about it. Now, one guy used these as a backup because he said there's so much tension on these springs that he used these and kind of tightened them all at once. And then once it was completely compressed, then he took these off. So I think we'll probably try that. It might be a little bit safer. But once you take them off, man, that's, I don't know what that is. I think something said it's 770 pounds or something. But one guy commented that problem is these cheap Chinese tools are only good 3 or 4 times. Well, this one here, this thing looks like it's used 100 times. This was brand new. He took the plastic off. But like I said, we can't use them because we can't get them off. That's a situation we're in. We're just going to have to crank that till it's probably a little bit shorter than this one. So we have to probably get her down to about here. So we got to compress about that much of it. And that's going to be really tough to do. But I guess if you're seeing this video, I lived through it. If I don't post any more videos, you mean for a while means I'm in the hospital. But that's all we can do. We just hope this don't snap. This doesn't cross thread, or the threads, I mean, let loose, or these little pins here break. It's fucked. So anyway, we'll give her a shot. I'll be back. Okay, guys, I got it real tight. See, this one will fit in without compressing it, right? Because, you know, it's the lowering spring, real short. So you can stick it up in there and get the groove, get this deal right in there. So that's what I'm trying to, I think it's pretty close. Although it needs to be not any longer than this. But man, I got that thing just so compressed. Now, you can see how this is all, it's not straight. It's at an angle now, which I don't know if that's going to hold when I take these off. Now, what I would like to do, I think would be safer, is to cut this off with the cutoff wheel. Cut that off and that off so it can fit in this hole here. But now I got another problem. You know, you can see it sticks down about that far, right? So now we got this rod in the way. That's going to hit before this seats up in there. So I don't know if this is going to work, guys, because I'd hate to take right now I feel kind of safe with 3 of them compressing it, but now you're supposed to take these 2 off, this off and this off, and I don't know if that middle one's going to hold. It may, but man, if them threads let go or something, or that little pin, like I said, risking serious bodily injury. That's why I'd like to just cut that off there. But these tools each are like $50 each, so I'd waste 50 bucks by cutting that, because I couldn't return it. But then, what am I going to do here? Cut that one? See, that'll probably have to be cut down here somewhere, because you can't lower this anymore, because you got to get this out. You got to get this out. You can't. It'll be touching this, because you gotta get it stuck in there and then jack it up. So you gotta get a jack under here and have this so it swings up. So you won't be able to take this out until it's at least, you know, pretty close to being flat. And then by that time, this here is going to be wedged in here somewhere, and then you'll never get it out. You'd have to cut it. Use a Sawzall, or I don't know. So I don't know if this is going to work, guys. I really don't think it's going to work. Could these springs be too tall? Yeah, they might be. Like I said, I had a little bit of a problem putting the factory one off the 91 on the other side. A little bit of a problem. I had to use a come along to kind of pull it. But I was trying to use these springs because they're taller, and I want the front end up as high as I can get it. But I don't know if it's risk taking these off. Spending another $100 by cutting these up. But see, the problem is, if I cut these up and ruin them, I can't do the other side. I can't put the other spring like this in the other side. Unless I go spend another $100 but get 2 more tools. So, is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know. Let me figure something out and I'll be back. Taking the coil spring out of this one. See how it's sitting on that perch right there? That's what you need. You need to sit on that, then you can jack this up. So there it is. There's that little isolator. Okay, so I got an idea. I really think these are too tall, and I started loosening these two from the outside, and it actually kind of sprung more. So I don't think that would have even worked. Plus that end was going to hit the top. Okay, so you can see the difference. That's a lowering spring, and this is off the 91. You can see that how much shorter that is. Okay, so this is my idea. I could use just this one, and it just needs to compress a little bit. So I'm going to use this, compress it a little bit, stick it in there, jack it up, and then once it's in there, I have to get the strut attached, because that's what holds this whole thing up, is a strut. Well, the strut and the sway bar end. Okay, now up there is a little perch that goes on, right? I don't know if I showed you, but okay, so the rear is the same way. These are the two deals that came out of the top of that one on the rear. This one had them too. Okay, so I saved them. I didn't put them back in. Now that's actually going to give about an inch or so spacer. So I put that up in there, and it fits perfectly. Fits perfectly over the little deal, right? So that's actually going to give that much more space. lift. So once this spring is in and it's attached, get the strut attached, then I'm going to use this up through the bottom, grab on to as high as I can get it, and then spring it down, and hopefully I can get it about an inch or two, because I got to shove it in like this. I got to get it in like that, then over the top, and then in. Or yeah, that way. So if I can do that, that's going to give it another inch lift, which would be perfect. Okay, so that's the plan. So let me compress this one a little bit and get it in there. I'll be back. Okay guys, it's the next day. I got it in there. Wasn't easy. It wouldn't line up to the top little perch, and that coil spring compressor, the single one, I had it pulling down from the bottom, trying to, you know, like I said, give it enough room. But that thing, even with full power on my impact, it was barely moving that nut. So I couldn't compress it down to stick that spacer in there, or to get it to shove over to the perch. But finally did. I had to use one of the McPherson strut ones on the outside of the coil spring, so the coil spring would bend that way, and it was a hell of a bang. All of a sudden, bang, and I thought something broke, but it actually was the thing moving over and getting up into that perch. So anyway, that's it. That's all I'm doing to it. As you can see, there's a lot more room. I think it's about 1.5 inch lift more on it. You can tell by the bumper's way above ground, so this concrete's kind of uneven, but it's up pretty close to factory. Although I didn't put that isolator in, those isolators in. Oh well, they didn't really, not going to add much height or anything, just keep it from squeaking or whatever. There's not going to be very much. So anyway guys, we got all the coil springs, struts, and shocks and struts all replaced on it. So I think that's it. Now that's it for now. I still got the brake cables to do. I want to take off the hub and repack it with wheel bearing grease, but we're going to save that for another day. Right now I think our next video, I think we're going to replace that windshield. Already went over it in the other video, but we'll put the new one in there. But anyway, I think she's up on factory ride height now, pretty close. Yeah, why someone would lower these, I don't know, unless you live on the Bonneville salt flats. But any road that's going to have an inch dip in it, you're going to feel it in this, or you would have. Hopefully now it rides a lot better. Oh, I got the little cap here came in. That's didn't come with hoses, obviously. You got to put a hose from there into there, and then hose from there to the wiper motor. Okay, so yeah, we still got, anyway, that was a big job. If I wanted to pay somebody to do some work to this, that would be it. Front coil springs. It's a son of a bitch to do. But anyway, you've seen how I did it. Other people may have done it easier, but it was mainly trying to get those new springs in, and I think they were wrong. I don't know if I'm going to return them or save them for another project or something, but Anyway, if you're going to use a coil spring compressor, make sure you get a new one, newer one. That one that I got, I think it was just kind of worn out and a little sketchy to try to compress that. But anyway, I think it's looking good. 1.5 inches or so lift on it. Got rid of all that low rider stuff. I think she'll be all right now. See, hell, it drug, the exhaust drug right on here. Just going down 1 inch or so on the ground, it scraped. I went, ah, shit. I bet it don't scrape now, but okay, guys. So next video on this, we'll do the windshield. We're gonna do the brake hoses, repack the wheel bearings, get all that situated, and then of course a bunch of other little stuff. Okay, for the rear brake, AutoZone only has listed for a drum brake the rear rubber hose. Now they listed a rubber right hose passenger side for disc brakes, and that's what this one has. Now they didn't have one listed for left. This one had a steel line. It looked like homemade type thing, but maybe that's the way it's made. I don't know. Has a steel line this side and a rubber hose on that side. I'll check on eBay, see if I can find a rubber hose deal for a disc brake deal. Pretty sure that must be factory, but why the emergency brake cables are missing, I'll look on eBay, like I said, see if I can find that rear hose. But we want to get at least the front brakes working and make sure the calipers and everything are good. Yeah, that's the thing. We'll put on the hoses and bleed them, and then we'll deal with the rear ones later, and keep rolling along with it, I guess. Okay, guys, thanks everybody for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Supposed to help out the algorithms. Yeah, the views have been going down on this. I don't know why, because so many people, when I showed it a while back, oh yeah, I want to see you do it. So appreciate y'all that are watching, but the Silverado truck did probably twice as many views as this one. So there isn't that many fans. There's twice as many fans wanting to see a Silverado truck being done instead of a Camaro. I don't know why. So probably won't buy any more of these. Well, I don't do it for YouTube money or anything, but views are money. But if it's a good deal, I'll buy it. But yeah, they're not much easy. Some stuff easy. The rear shocks and coils were easy, but this front end and wiring and the interior is going to be something else. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see y'all next video.